All right, so for our daily fluency for week 8, lesson 3, or week 8, day 3, we need to multiply and divide by multiples of 10. Let's look at 4 and 3/10. Let's put that into our chart up here. So 4, 3/10. All right, so how many spaces do we need to move? Well, let's move one space to the left. So this 4 is now in our tens place, and the 3 is now in our ones place. So our answer would be 43. Okay, let's go to the next problem. So in our next problem, we're not multiplying. We are dividing 4 and 35 hundredths. So all I got to do is place my 5 in the hundredths place. We're dividing by 10. So if we're dividing by 10, all of the digits are going to move to the right one space. So the 5 is going to move here. The 3 is going to move here. And the 4 is going to move here. So our answer would be 435 thousandths. 435 thousandths. Let me just put my placeholder here so that people can see this is a decimal. So in our next problem, we have 43 and 5/10. So 43 and 5/10 divided by 100. So when we're divided by 100, the digits move 2 places to the right. So we got to move this all the way over here. 2 spaces. We got to move the 3 over 2 spaces. And we need to move the 4 over 2 spaces. And so our answer is 435 thousandths. Let's move the decimal here in this problem instead of using place value understanding. So if I move my decimal here, the decimal is going to move 2 places to the right, and I will have 529, 52 and 9/10. Whereas if I use place value understanding, my digits would move 2 spaces to the left. All right, so let's look at 529 thousandths times 1,000. All right, so since this is a thousandths, this is the 9 is in the thousandths place. I'm just going to move my decimal to the right 3 times. And my new value is 529. Okay, so let's go to our next fluency lesson. And wow, look, we are going to name the coordinates here. So we have some letters that are representing coordinate pairs. And this one is kind of tricky because we need to first figure out the scale. And it looks like the scale here is in decimals. So I see that the distance is from 0 to 1. And it looks like I have 10 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means that each line here, or each unit, or each interval, well, we're going to say interval. Each interval here is a tenth. Our y-axis is the same. Let's just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So here we go. Tenth 2/10. So now we can find our values of these letters because we have the values of our intervals here on the x-axis and the y-axis. So let's start at A, since A is first. So on our x-axis, we have 5/10, and we go up our y line. And so A is 5/10 is the x, and our y is 1. I'm just trying to draw my parentheses here. Ooh. There we go. So let's look at B here, and we know that we need to go across the x-axis to find our x value and up our y-axis to find our y value. So B is at 1/10 for x, go up, and B is at 1 for our y value. If you look at it, the y value of A and B is the same. So we have x is 1/10 and B is 1. All right, let's go to C. So we go across our x-axis. So x is 3/10. See that here. And then our so our x-axis is 3/10, and our y-axis is 2/10. I'll just make our 0 there, placeholders. All right, let's look at D. D. Go across our x-axis, and we're at 7/10 for x. And our y value for D is 6/10. All right, let's look at E. Here's E. We go across our x-axis because x is first. So x is 0. I'm sorry. X is 9/10. So let's erase that. And it's easy to make those mistakes. So you just got to make sure that x, the value of the number on x, is first. So if we go across x for E, x is 9/10. And then y is 0. Now let's look at F. We go across our x-axis. X is 1 and F is 4/10. X is 1 and Y is 4/10. That concludes our fluency lesson for week 8, day 3.